Well, at last, here we are at the end of week 5 of Hume 310, Faith, Living, and Learning. And I really hope that you found this journey as interesting and perhaps joyful and helpful in doing the reflective and self-discovery work, as I have found it as I have engaged your work and your thought. I want to ask, or to say again, how impressed I am with the thoughtfulness of your work around nearly every aspect of this course, really about every aspect of this course, but especially in the way you have so successfully, intelligently worked on the 3 films and your personal reflections on your life journeys. Week 5 was designed as a kind of big picture week. You've done a great deal of work and you've worked well at doing it. Week 5 was a time to ask and respond to the kind of odd questions like, so what, and now what? And in light of the journey I'm on, how then shall I live? I think these questions really matter. I've enjoyed and a few times been challenged by your thoughtful end-of-course discussion. I'm especially impressed by how you've connected with each other and how affirming you are of each other's hard work and the challenges of your lives. I'm eagerly looking forward to spending time with your ontology projects and will be engaging them soon. Oh, before I go any further, please take a few minutes to complete the end-of-course evaluation. The program needs your assessment, your genuine, honest input, and I want it as well. It won't take you long, but it is vitally important. By the way, since I've joined you all along in sharing my own maps, I want you to know that I'm including the final of my life maps. You'll see it on Moodle. It's named Arthur's Life Map. This is my final map. The blue boxes are for my life events maps, the red ovals are for my relationship map, and the red clouds are spirituality events in my life. It's titled My Life. Oh, believe me, there's a story behind every single one of those labels. I'm also including an artifact. It's titled My Life Library. You'll find a JPG of that. This artifact is important to me for a few reasons. One is I'm a reader, and books and libraries have been huge influences in my life. They help me to understand and even vicariously experience what I would never have been able to experience in a lifetime of living. Another reason is that I've often said that my life is never a short story. It's always a novel full of plot twists and unexpected characters. Life happens and then I have to figure it out, just like any writer in a novel has to. So I'm always reading my life, always trying to make sense of it, or even attempting to force some sense of order on it, just like a library does with a huge number of volumes. No library is ever complete. No library ever contains everything that has been written. Neither is my life. This particular section of my life library is a fairly dark collection. There are tales of death and despair and depression. There are also tales of survival and, from time to time, victory. While the final volume is yet to be written and will likely not be written by me, in that sense of somebody else will have to write my biography, it's also a collection of books that are about hope and faith in the face of despair and doubt. It may not be the greatest story in the world, but it's my story, and in some ways it explains me. One of my favorite quotations by the poet Rainer Maria Rilke, which I'll paraphrase, comes from a little book titled Letters to a Young Poet. He encouraged us all to learn to love the questions and live into the answers. Did you hear that? Learn to love the questions and live into the answers. The older I get, the more I understand that it is the questions that matter, and that if I pay attention to those questions in the context of my daily life, I'll find answers, aka truth for my life. So I encourage you to continue to live with these questions, understanding that today's answer will not always make sense tomorrow, and that growth will take place and new insight and understanding will emerge if we are paying attention. Even for those of you who have staked out a deep commitment to a belief system will discover that faith understandings that were meaningful and important in one period of your life will need to grow and change in order to make those understandings continue to have meaning as the circumstances of your lives continue. Some of you are already living that. Well, we draw to the end of the journey, although there really is no end here, is there? For me, that no end includes death, which we often think of as the end, right? In the second part of The Lord of the Rings, Gandalf talks about death as not an end, but a beginning. It's in the second of the 3 films in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I think it's The Two Towers is the title of that film. You might want to watch it. I've put the link for this particular scene. It's a short scene in the middle of a battle. It's on Moodle for week 5. I intend to have this played at my funeral. So what are we doing now? What we're doing right now at the end of this course is pausing at a local inn for rest, your favorite brew, and a reflective conversation. I wish you all well and hope if you are able to attend graduation ceremonies in person that you'll be sure to look me up and introduce yourself in the flesh, as it were. Blessings on the rest of your journey. Take care. Be well.